Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. I am so excited today. I have one of the most fantastic entertainers on from TikTok today. She's a TikTok sensation. Her name is Katya Smirnoff Skyy. I hope I said that right. And she's from San Francisco. She's an entertainer of all sorts. Plus, she has a wit like no other. And we decided to have her on the show because she is fantastic. And not only that, she's really engaging. And that's what we like the most. And that is what the producers saw. And they thought we should invite her on the show because we thought that she would be great as a holiday star, superstar, somebody that can lighten the mood and teach us a few things about education and inspiring others to just be fabulous. So welcome to the show, Miss Katya Smirnoff Skyy. Did
Oh,
I say that
thank
right?
you. Yes, it's Smirnoff Sky, two vodkas, one person. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Stephanie, for having me. Many of the Generation Z's and the millennials on the ticking talk, they call me Auntie Katya. But my full name is
oh,
Katya Smirnoff Skyy, the Countess Katya Smirnoff Skyy. That's right, I'm a countess. My late husband was the Count Nikolai Alexander Ivanovich Smirnoff Skyy. Nicky and I met when I was 17, he was 78. But from the moment our eyes met, I knew we would spend the rest of his life together. And they were the three best years I ever had. And then Nicky died, as older husbands so often do. It's
so
true.
you are, so you're actually from Russia?
Well, yeah, I was born in the Soviet Union in 19 a long time ago. People always ask me, they
Oh,
say, Auntie Katya, what's that accent? And I always say, well, it's vaguely Eastern European, ever changing, and sort of stuck in the land of old timey movies, sort of mid Atlantic, I suppose.
now I see that you have a great following
I
on
do.
TikTok. The
Yeah,
young, like you said, the young millennials are loving you. They
I
love
guess
engaging
so.
with you.
Well, everyone needs
So,
an auntie, is what I find. And, I started about a year ago on the ticking talk. And my friend, she said, Katya, you need to get on the ticking talk. That's where all the young people are. And I don't know a great deal about technology. I mean, I just realized that when you go on the internet, you're not going on AOL. No, it's totally different. It's very modern. But I started doing these ticking talks, because when we were all in quarantine, people needed an auntie, an uncle, or a mame, to spread a little
mhm.
love, to tell people how special they are. As an auntie, it is my job to open, to show people new doors, new windows that they never even dreamed existed. And that's the joy of it. And I think that's why people connect with me. That and because I talk crazy all the time and seem to amuse them. And that's fine. That's fine with me.
Mhm. So, what do the young kids call your drag? Or is it okay? That
Yes, yes,
pronoun, is that
that's
pronoun
fine.
okay?
Yes, I mean,
What
I
are your
prefer
pronouns? What are
my
your pronouns?
my pronoun is auntie. I mean, if you roll
Oh,
on the street, I'm just Auntie Carter. I think my brand of drag, because drag is
mhm.
whatever you throw on and makes you feel like the you that you want to be at that moment. My brand of drag is, well, it's not as theatrical as I said, but I suppose it's more theatrical and less theatrical at the same time. I basically just do rich old white lady drag, and that's fine with me. It is.
Well, I'm used to that because of the women in Miami. I used to hang out in Miami a
Oh,
lot and
Miami.
Coconut
Oh,
Grove with the rich socialites.
oh, I remember the
The ones that,
Grove. That was fun. Yeah, I used to frequent Coconut Grove in 1970, a long, long time ago. Yes, I'm that old.
oh,
I stopped aging in 1980. My blood is
you know,
97% 100 proof vodka. I have pickled myself from within. Good for the skin, terrible for the memory.
now I was in San Francisco when I was just a little young pro now, and
Oh,
back then I went to because you're in San Francisco, right?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm in Twin Peaks. That's the hills in San Francisco, the Swiss Alps, where old gays go to die, and that's where I live. I love San Francisco, my little Sodom by the sea.
Now, I used to I the first time I had a little when I had a little boyfriend in San Francisco, we went to the Saint, I think it's the St. Francis Hotel,
Oh
on the
yes,
elevator with the glass bottom.
oh yeah. They're
And the
terrifying,
most,
terrifying.
yes, it is very terrifying. And it was the most terrifying thing ever in my life, but I remember that the most. And I remember going to a nightclub in Nob Hill.
Oh yes. Which one was it? Do you recall?
It was it was a little, I think it was a little white house, and it had a patio outside with a big white wall face, like I don't know the name
I
of
can't
it. It's been
remember.
like 40 years
Oh,
since I've
oh,
been there.
the cinch, perhaps. Maybe it was the cinch. I don't know.
That might be it. That
But,
might
but
be it. But like I said, San Francisco is a fantastic place. I just could not live there with all those hills.
there's a
And what's that little winding street
oh
called?
Lombard Street. It's the winding
Oh,
one that
Lombard
yeah.
Street.
Oh, it's a mess, But the hills, they're good. They're good for your ass because it helps that stay
Oh,
pert. It's a
now,
wonderful town.
now, have you ever gotten dragged in your car in a convertible and driven down Lombard Street?
Well, I don't believe in convertibles, therefore they don't exist. No, I'm kidding. Have I gone down Lombard in? I've been down Lombard in drag. I did a photo shoot on Lombard years ago, and I felt very, Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday on the back of a Vespa, which was terrifying because
No.
it was a
So,
spectacle.
so what are you doing now for Christmas? I know you're performing at Feinstein's tonight.
Yes. Oh, no, Feinstein's next weekend, the 17th and 18th.
Oh, next
My
weekend.
holiday
Okay.
spectacular, now in its 15th tinsel coated year. Tonight I'm doing a little show called Misfit Cabaret with Kat Robichaux, who was on a little show called The Voice, and I'm just singing one number. It's an in and out kind of gig at the Alcazar Theatre. It should be fun, and the holiday show. It's one of my favorites. I just love doing it because I love the way that you Americans celebrate the Christmas. The holiday season. When I was a little girl growing up in Moscow, not that I was ever little. But I was young
Oh,
once, long, long ago. We didn't celebrate the way you do here. There were no Christmas tree, trim and decoration by at Tiffany's, no dreidels made of the clay. Yet the average Soviet child, for the Christmas, they might get, I don't know, some candy, a coat, maybe some boots for working in the bottle factory after school. So I love to celebrate here. Now, of course, I'm actually Jewish. Yeah, I converted to Judaism.
okay.
I did, yes. I was friends with Sammy Davis Jr. Do you know who Sammy Davis was? Well, Sammy reminded me a lot of my late husband. They were both 5'3" and only had one eye. That's where the similarities ended. But Sammy told me about a religion where you have a cocktail hour and then 4 glasses of wine before dinner. Sign me up.
Oh,
And that's how I converted to Judaism. One of God's chosen
oh.
people.
So I know that you're in an are you in an open relationship with Alata? Is that your partner's
Yeah,
name?
no. Alata is one of my dearest friends. She's a burlesque dancer, Alata Boutet, and she and
Oh,
I do
okay.
have yes, yes. She and I do have a drag daughter who was on RuPaul's Drag Race, Honey Mahogany, in season 2 or something.
Oh,
So we have a good drag children together, I suppose.
so you were for Christmas you were pulling Oliver Twist, were you?
And Oliver Twist.
Some more, please. Give me some more. You say you only had boots and everything,
Oh
but
no,
what?
no, I was not your average Soviet child. No, my mother was Ekaterina Stolenskaya, prima ballerina for the Bolshoi, considered by many to be one of the most beautiful and interesting women of her generation. Apparently, the apple doesn't roll very far from the bushel. Well, men, they threw themselves at Mama. Artists, party members, leaders of industry. And it wasn't long before my mother became the final mistress of Joseph Stalin. That Joseph Stalin, I know, the ruthless dictator responsible for the deaths of millions of my comrades. But, to a 3-year-old, he didn't seem so bad. He was basically like a Russian Santa. A uniform, facial hair, and a book with the names and deeds of every Russian citizen, except the elves didn't get that book. The KGB did. Basically the same.
Oh, okay. So in Russia, they really don't believe in a Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
Well, I don't know. I left Russia when I was so young, but no, I don't think so. You're right. It's not as big a holiday in the in Russia as it is here. Here it's just a joyous time of year. And
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I even
Now,
put on my sweater for Christmas.
mhm.
There's a
It's
cat.
cute. It's very
Thank
cute.
you.
I have mine on. It says naughty and nice.
Oh, well, you are naughty and nice. That's what I hear, darling.
I'm
Mine
something else. And I,
there's a fire on this boob and a cat wearing a coat on this boob. Because cats wearing coats, that makes sense.
oh yes, hello. Now, what do you think? What is some of the best moments for you for
Oh,
Christmas and some of the worst times? Because people have the worst time during the holidays
oh, they
with
do.
family and
Oh,
friends.
it's
And
I know it's hard to believe, but there are some who do not find this the happiest season of all. No, for some people it's very stressful. For instance,
mhm,
I hate buying gifts. I
mhm.
say to people, I say, darling, what would you like for the Christmas? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm sure you'll think of something. If you don't know what you want, how the hell am I supposed to know? You get
Mhm.
nothing. No, I mean, I'll still get them something. And we're all guilty of it. I mean, and that's how you end up with useless gifts like letter openers or milk frothers, or in my case, an entire drawer of iTunes gift cards. Now, I have been all over the world, and I have never found an iTunes store where I could go in and buy some CDs. I mean, is that too much to ask? I don't understand.
Now, what do you think what do you think of drag today?
Well, it's funny. When I first started performing here in San Francisco, there were, I think there was one drag show in the Castro and a couple down in Soma, and it was gritty. And it was artistic and interesting. And the average drag queen only lasts about, I don't know, 3 years. That's what I say.
Mhm.
Some little gay wisp of a thingy comes in, and they're like, oh, I'll be fancy, and you get all the best, booze and boys and other things. And it's changed. It's changed. There's so much more acceptance towards drag. I think
Mhm.
that drag race show has definitely opened the world up to drag in all its forms. Of course,
Mhm.
there is a certain understanding that drag should be one thing or another thing, but I've never believed
Mhm.
that. I think drag is whatever you feel like doing, darling. You be yourself, because if you are not yourself, who else will be?
Mhm. Now, how long have you lived in San Francisco?
Oh, well, I've been performing here for nearly 20 years.
Oh
I
my God.
know. It's a
So,
long time.
well, you know what they say. They say San Francisco has the most, I mean, in the world, San Francisco has the most LGBT rich millionaires.
Well, I mean, it's a very expensive place to live, and it's very small. It's only 7 miles by 7 miles large. And yes, there are a lot of very wealthy people. That's because people make money in the Valley of Silicon. And, and,
Oh.
and, and, and yes, and then they choose to live in San Francisco. And
Mhm.
it's wonderful. I mean, it does mean that you can have a nice patron. here or there. But it is hard, getting started out as a young person. It's a very expensive thing to go into the drag, or so I hear. And I feel that in San Francisco it's even harder because of the extreme cost that it takes to live in our fair city by the sea. Luckily, my apartment is rent control, so they're going to have to take me out of here heels first.
Oh. So now they have. I haven't been to in San Francisco, like I said, in many years. But the most exciting part of San Francisco I found was Fisherman's Wharf.
Oh, yes. I haven't been to the wharf, and Fisherman's Wharf is one of those places where everyone goes when they come to San Francisco. But people who live in San Francisco, we don't go there very often because it's hard to get there. I mean, it's far away, and there are sea lions, seals that hang out there, and I don't want to get close to a seal.
Now,
No, I
now, what
don't.
what do you think? Do you think things have changed or
Oh,
will
oh,
change?
yes. I think it's so much easier and more acceptable now to be a drag queen in this world. To drop the character for a minute and just talk as a drag queen and not as just Auntie Katya, which I am.
Okay.
Definitely, I think there was a time, when I started doing drag where if you did drag, it was very hard to find a partner or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever,
Mhm.
a significant other if you were a drag queen. We were looked at very much like porn stars, something exciting for the community, but not something that was really accessible or accepted by the cis male or the cis male, not cis, yeah, cis gay male community.
Mhm.
So you could meet someone and have a tryst, but the chances of dating were much smaller. Whereas now, anyone can do drag. You can be a lawyer, you can be an accountant. There's not a stigma in the same way,
Mhm.
which is a wonderful thing. So it's great to see, this new generation of queer folk coming up in this world that's so much more accepting and so much more open to who they want to be and who they want to try to be, and allows them to do the things that they want to try and do. It's very exciting to watch.
Mhm. The good thing about all of this, when I first started doing the show 3 years ago, when he came to me, an actor came to me and told me I should be doing what I'm doing now, and I kept telling him I can't do that. He says, "No, you can do it because I read your stuff and I look at your stuff. You need to be moving in the direction of this, and I think that you will have a bright future if you start moving your butt in this direction. Stop talking about it and start doing it." So
Hmm.
I in my room, I started practicing. But in the long run, he kept pushing me off of Twitter. He kept saying, "No, that ain't working, that ain't working. Do it this way."
Hmm.
And just make it simple, cut and dry, and talk to your locals. That's what you want. You want to talk to the locals around the world and the people that are not the celebrities. You talk to the ones that are going to be the celebrities.
Or just the working girls. I've been doing drag a long time. I've had my own show for 15 years.
Mhm.
Once a month for 15 years I've had a show. And I've seen many a drag queen come and go. And it is nice that you can plot your own course and plot your own adventure and find success in new ways. I mean, I had never thought of joining TikTok when I did. I had no idea that people would start calling me Auntie Katya. Uh, it's just something organic that happens. I think in drag, I mean, I do character drag, so I mean, as you could tell from the first half of this interview,
Oh.
I'm a crazy lady. Uh, but it's
what I
fun.
like, what I like is that your rapport with people you don't know around the world, you connect so quickly with them and they connect with you. And that is a good thing. And like you said, drag is now becoming accepted. So maybe this is what's helping that. But also people are starting to feel like they're not alone. They see you and they think, wow, this
Well,
is this
what?
is a drag queen. This is what I look up to. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I want to be. And it's an older drag queen. She can teach me so much.
But as
And
I, as Katya always says, You know, everyone has parents. It's their responsibility to keep you alive, to keep you breathing. But aunties, uncles, and mames, it is our job to help you become the person that you're meant to be. Because you're the only person who knows who that is. You know, we're here to show you new doors, doors you never even dreamed existed, because we have walked through those doors before you. And we can be there on the other side. You know, nothing is completely new in this world. And everyone has been through hardship and trouble and turmoil. And it's good to show people that you will make it through and you will find your own way to do it. And you don't have to do it just like everybody else. I mean, if someone told me that I had to paint my face the way that the young drag queens do now, I'd say, I have no goddamn idea what that even means. I can paint this face. It's the one I have. Those are my eyebrows. That's my nose. Yet I can still go out and work with all those fine young ladies just as easily, you know, except that I wear smaller shoes because my feet hurt.
You know, Katya, I just wanted to say you're amazing. You really are. And I can tell even
Thank you.
out of character, you're an amazing person. And I just want to say thank you so much
Oh,
today for
thank
coming
you
on to the
so
show,
much for
for,
having me, Stephanie.
for inspiring and educating others and keeping the young children engaged and helping others understand that we are here just like everybody else, regardless of how different we look or our perspectives of what they think drag should be or what they think you should be as a human being. Um, and it's this window of opportunity now on the internet has given us a little bit more power to sort of get our voices heard.
Yes.
And this is a great thing. So you're performing tonight, right?
I am. I know. Running off to a gig. It's a
Okay.
busy night. Fifth time in Face this week, and it's only Friday.
I want to say happy holidays, Merry
Thank you. You
Christmas, Happy
too.
Hanukkah,
Thank
um,
you, honey. You too, my
and
darling.
all of those. And I just want to say, to our audience today, I want to just say, can you leave us with a little inspirational Auntie Katya Smirnoff Skyy advice?
I know you're putting me on the spot, but I'm sure I can think of something. Um,
Give us a little holiday advice.
a little holiday advice. Well, you know, people are so eager to tell you who to be, what to be. And I always like to think that in my liquor cabinet of life, there is every kind of bottle, every shape, every color, every size, every vintage. And there's always a place at my table for anyone who wants to show up because your auntie's always thirsty, and
Oh.
life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death. So just keep on living the best way you know how.
And on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for
Thank you,
being on the
darling.
show today. And this is our little holiday light show for everybody out there. So you guys take care of yourselves. It's Christmas, New Year's Eve. Be safe, have fun, and just do something.
Do
And
something
just
fun.
try to stay positive and just be you. That's all you can do. So until next time, my friends, right here from Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show, stay blessed and good night, everybody. Thank you, Katya.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good night, darlings.
Good night.
Are we off?